Hey everybody, we are on our way to Petit Jean. This actually started out as a camping trip that we planned, I think, a year ago. If you want to get the campsite that you want, you have to book it a year out. But then a couple weeks ago, found 2 vacation rentals on top of Petit Jean that I wanted to test out. So we switched it. We canceled our Petit Jean reservation, which is a $25 fee. So instead we're staying in 2 different vacation rentals. We're gonna be up there for a week. I have several different things planned. The Corps of Engineers is hopefully gonna give us a tour of the lock and dam while we're here. If their maintenance schedule and the weather and everything works out, it's just kind of one of those go-to places. You can kind of just get it all right there on the mountain. So buckle up. There is a chance that I missed it in my email, but I could not find the address to this rental, so I had to call. We pulled over near Mather Lodge. Here, turn right. Yeah, the only place we could get signal was next to Mather Lodge. We are going to arrive soon, and I'm excited to see this place because we've never stayed.
Turn left onto Rebstock Road.
Left onto Rebstock. So it's gravel, and it's really not that bad. I mean, it's bumpy, but it's gravel. Our gravel road at home's worse. My mic does not.
But
my shirt is too thin, I guess.
Interesting to see it because clearly it's secluded.
Yeah.
Getting out there.
There's like cows over there somewhere in the grass. Well, you might as well know now that the vacation rental that we have rented turned out to be a total bust. It was very clear that the owner was not ready for us or anyone to actually rent this house, even though it has been rented before. There were a long list of repairs and issues that needed fixed. It's not something I even feel comfortable sharing about because I cannot recommend that you stay there, but we're just gonna move on from here. No trip to Petit Jean is complete without a visit to Mather Lodge. We were gonna go to the visitor center, but it's already closed. The sun's going down. They have all these brochures and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna try to find an interpreter schedule for this weekend so we can do some of the events, one of which is gonna be a night hike tonight. Got it. Okay, so tonight, let's see, today is Friday, March 29th, and we are going to do the night hike to Rock House Cave with interpreter BT. We've done a lot of hikes with BT in the past, and he's like iconic around Petit Jean. So that's what we're gonna do, and that is at 7:30. I have no idea what time it is now, but that's the plan. By the way, there are a ton of people here. I think we accidentally came on spring break. This is what Mather Lodge looks like on the outside. They have a lodge restaurant, a gift shop, CCC rooms where they do interpretive programs, and you can rent rooms here. It's a beautiful facility. The sun is about to go down and we're going to get ready for our night hike, but first I want to take you to see the Petit Jean State Park campground. It's a beautiful campground and one of our favorites of any state park, but there are a few things that you need to know before you book a campsite. Example, this is Camp Area B. It is newly remodeled. It's really nice if you have a big rig or if you needed a handicap accessible campsite. They have some of those here. The bathhouse is really nice. It's a quad, which means there are 4 separate rooms and each one has its own shower, toilet, sink. So it's not the stall kind. It's really nice. These are full hookups, so you have water, electric, and sewer. My only complaint, and I'm just being picky, is that because they had to install sewer here, or they chose to install sewer here, they took out a lot of the trees, so it's not as shady in the summer. If you have a big rig though, you're not really going to care about that because what you need is the space and the maneuverability that this camp area provides. This is Camp Area C. It's one of my favorites. It has not been remodeled, so it's not as conducive to the big rigs, although there are a lot of big rigs who do manage to get themselves in here. Example, A and B on the right side. I do not know how they got those fifth wheels in there. Our camper is 14 feet long. We camped at a site just across the street from that fifth wheel, and just trying to get it maneuvered in there was a little bit of a chore. But these guys obviously can do it. The bathhouse in Camp Area C is not new and not one of my favorites. This is Camp Area D. It's very similar to C, except C has little cul-de-sacs. D is just one big circle. The campsites in here are kind of tight, but I absolutely love the nostalgic feel of this campground. It's very wooded, so it's extra shady in the summertime. Everyone's just out here having a great time. It's one of my favorite camp areas. C and D are my favorites. I also want to make note that Camp Areas C and D are not full hookups. All you get over here are water and electric. If you want full hookups, then you have to go to Camp Area A and B, and I'm going to show you A in just a second. This is Camp Area A. It is the only section that has any lakeside camp spots, and it only has a few. This is full hookups, so you get water, sewer, and electric in Camp Area A. It's good for the big rigs because they have some pull-through sites. Although you do not have to have a big rig to camp here, you can tent camp in Camp Area A if you want to. The few lakeside spots that they have great views of Lake Bailey. Keep in mind that Lake Bailey is only a fishing lake. You can kayak here too, but there is no swimming. One more thing I want to show you before it gets too dark to see out here and we head to our night hike are the yurts. A lot of people surprisingly do not know that Petit Jean State Park has yurts because they're on a different road than the campground, although they can be seen from Camp Area A. There are only 4 yurts. We stayed in one of them last year and we had so much fun. These yurts do not have air conditioning or heat, so you'll want to keep that in mind. The washboards on this road are crazy. This is Red Bluff Drive and we're headed to Rock House Cave to do the night hike I told you about. And I don't understand how washboards work. How we were discussing how it can get so like the bumps are literally like a washboard,
and they're
so
close together and perfectly straight. We've seen this road at different levels We've seen the road at different levels of disrepair, whatever you want to call it, but this is the worst we've seen it in a while.
Yeah, that's why we typically don't like coming down here because, you know, well, I mean, like we're in the minivan. If it was in the truck, it wouldn't be so bad. But
I don't know what
our minivan does not need extra help.
I don't know what weather could cause it to be that close together and that straight. Maybe somebody knows, they can comment, because it's really strange to see it look like someone put it in there on purpose.
Anyway, we have arrived.
Yeah, he just said, I want to see a waterfall and a sunrise.
This sandstone's embedded with iron and different ratios, and it erodes at different rates and leaves some really unusual patterns. These are those 5 drawings, maybe the bigger, more interesting ones that you find back there drawn on the ceiling mainly. And while I've got my light up here, you can see these dark bands running through the sandstone, right? There's a thin one, there's a thick one, and that is just part of the iron-rich sandstone that permeates the whole top of the mesa here. What they use for paint, whether on purpose or by accident, is what's allowed it to endure all this time. It's very subtle.
The hands.
The hands. Joining together hands.
The hands are one that's like this right here. It's dark, you can see the outline and stuff.
The whole world of stone, pale, long bill on the front. And what is this? It's a catching thing.
Oh, and you got
The trap.
Yeah.
And it kind of covers up what's here already. Go look around. You're doing just exactly the right thing. One good thing about flashlights is you can kind of focus everything in one place and then.
Is that the person right there?
It's a mystery. I do not know. It could be a person. Joining together. What does that mean? And the animal with the horns right there, the face is pecked away. Maybe it was originally. There's something else with it, maybe a wing or body. Kind of what it looks like.
It is 9:12 and we just left the night hike at Rock House Cave. We stayed way late and talked to BT Jones, the interpreter. And that was really cool. BT's a really great guy and an excellent interpreter, so if you have the opportunity to do any sort of interpretive program with him, it's worth it. He's extremely knowledgeable,
We met BT 15 years ago and have talked to him off and on up here ever since.
Yeah, because you said he's been here since when?
05.
Maybe he knows us now, because we stood there and talked to him for forever. Yeah, we told him we've been to a lot of your programs, and he puts a lot of effort into what he does. Anyway, we have not had dinner yet, and the kids are tired, I think. Are y'all tired? Yeah. We're headed back. I have a YouTube video to upload for this week, and I'll see you tomorrow. So bye.
Bye.
Okay, good morning. Take 2. I already filmed this once and something didn't work. But anyway, okay, actually it's not morning. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We just left the rental. Slow morning because I worked a little bit and we were trying to get the gas fireplace to work, but we couldn't get it to work. But we parked over here at one of the CCC pavilions and we're going to check out the dam. This is the dam built by the CCC, which created Lake Bailey. Actually, I think this is Lake something else, and Lake Bailey is further up. We're going to try to get a little bit closer. I don't know if this is advised or not because it's not a trail. And then it goes under this huge arched stone bridge.
Look at the snake. That's the waterfall.
Oh my gosh, there is a snake. I'm going to try to get a hair closer to get a photo of the snake. Seems like a really great place for him to hang out. In case you're wondering, this is not a swimming lake. When the CCC built it, it actually was a swimming lake. Once again, this is not Lake Bailey. Lake Bailey's further up. But there's some people fishing over there. It's a fishing lake and you can kayak, canoe it, but no swimming anymore. He might be leaving.
He wants sun and water at the same time.
I don't blame him. I like sun and water at the same time. I'm tempted to go get closer. Oh, he's going inside the rock. He's going way up in there. All we can see now is the end of his tail. Only the tip is left, and he's gone. That was cool. If you remember, if you remember, a few weeks ago I took you to Davies Bridge State Park, and they also have a natural stone dam that the CCC built, and it is much bigger than this one, taller and wider, with a wider cascade on it. So it's a little more, a little more picturesque than this one, but what a lot of people do, and I'm gonna try to figure out how, is they go on the other side of this bridge and then shoot a photo of the waterfall through the bridge, so you get the bridge and then underneath it is the waterfall. Then I'm gonna try to do it too. Are you gonna fall in? I think he's trying to get bit by a snake. Up here is one of the pavilions built by the CCC, and I believe you can rent those out for parties or get-togethers or whatever. Are you trying to get bit by a snake?
I was just looking around. I think he's gone.
Ooh, something on your back. I think it was a bee. We're going to be doing Cedar Falls here in a few days. A friend is coming into town to hike with us, so this is a good sign. Maybe there'll be a good fall there. Today is March 30th, and it is hot. Wouldn't you agree?
It's got to be mid-70s or more.
Just the sun is beating today. But you know it's going to get hotter. Arkansas is not going to let us get by with 70s. Buddy, is it cold? What do you think, sugar? Okay, here we go. Here's a sign. Cedar Creek Bridge, constructed 1934. It was dedicated as the Davies Bridge in 1999. Davies was the designer and the supervising engineer. Very interesting. Here is information about the bridge we just saw. You can see what it looked like during construction. Some of the supports. A crew of 15 to 20 men built it mostly by hand, using a makeshift crane of a block, tackled 2 trees, and ironwork made by a blacksmith to lift the stone. That's amazing. Let's see, the superintendent is in the center here. So here's inside the pavilion. You can see all of the logs used to build it. And then it has a fireplace, but fires are no longer permitted. But it overlooks the lake. We are out here near Stouts Point. I have a friend and follower, Kevin, who is building a chapel out here, and he has graciously invited us to tour it. So that's what we're doing right now. I'll show you.
I got it on the gas pump now again. If you can see the cars, and the sound up here travels so amazing. You can hear the train going up and down, you know, right there by Interstate 40. And when a combine is combining on the other side of the river, it sounds like he's at the foot of the mountain. I can't tell you how many times I've looked to the bottom of the mountain.
The way that the sound hits the mountain.
Exactly, and then rolls up the mountain. So then you think that everything.
Yeah.
They are cutting rock. We took a much needed break from the heat. I know it's kind of weird to be talking about heat in April, but it is pretty hot today. But now we are at the CCC room in Mather Lodge playing Animal Bingo with interpreter Jake. And there's nothing I like more than a good game of bingo. Why? Because I like prizes and I like to win.
Not what most people think we know. So that's the eastern screech owl. There's quite a few of them up on the mountain, and when we do those owl prowl programs, those are the ones we have the most luck with.
We were headed back to the rental, and then we saw Jake, the interpreter, meeting over here at the boathouse, and we remembered that we saw on the schedule that he was doing some sort of night walk. And we've never done one of those, so that's what we're gonna do. And we are supposedly gonna we're gonna walk around the lake and end at a bat house. This is the old CCC boathouse.
Pictures of all the animals, plants, fungi, different things you will find in the lake. What is it? We'll take a little stroll. We're just gonna go down to the spillway down here, and along the way we will see what we can find. We'll see. So those are actually seeds. So usually on the far side of the lake, more so in the summertime, there's something called American water lotuses. It's a big lily pad. It gets a big, really pretty white flower on them. And then after the flower, they get these seed pods. And these seeds, people actually roast them and eat them like similar to like a chestnut. And that's the seed pod.
There's a little fish over there. No, not yet. He's doing it.
I would really like to find a water snake. I don't know if we will though.
I can see them. They blend in.
Right there. Piece of an old lily pad. These knobs sticking up out of the ground are all connected to that tree right there. Call them cypress knees. It's all part of the root system. And these root systems make really good habitat for a lot of animals. And so a lot of times there'll be young fish called fry and tadpoles and stuff swimming around. So we'll walk up here and see if we can find anything. Typically this one is detached, so it's on its way out, but y'all see that new growth with all that slime around it? You don't want to touch it? It's pretty weird, huh? So if this one was still rooted and still living, this whole bottom of this lily pad, you can kind of feel it there, but it's losing it. And so what this is, it's kind of like a camel's back. And so that's kind of like a little water reservoir for them. So if it gets hot and dry, it stops raining, this lake level recedes, this will keep it wet and moist and alive until hopefully that water level comes back up. And so that is what a dragonfly looks like before it spreads its wings and comes out of the water. Nope, see, it's all hollow. See how the back's opened up?
Yeah, just
And dragonfly larvae are actually predators. They'll actually eat minnows. Minnows, tadpoles,
We don't like that.
other aquatic bugs. Gotta eat though.
That's good fishing bait.
So if these are eating minnows and tadpoles and different things like that, what do you think these are?
consumers.
Yeah, consumers, very good. I think you twist it and it'll open up a little gate down at the bottom.
Okay, I always wonder whether. Okay, so it's extra,
And then
extra
we'll
water.
see, we'll be able to see where
Okay.
the water's flowing out on the other side.
Feet this way.
Very cool. Yeah, we'll try not to shine right in his eyes. He's probably- That's a toad. That's an American dwarf toad. Here about May or June, there will be little babies of these all over the place. So the more open sky you can kind of use as a backdrop. So if y'all need to slide around this way a little bit, probably give you a better view of it. And so that's actually 2 bat houses. There's one on each side of the pool. And there could be a couple hundred bats in each one of those.
Well, hello everybody, and happy Easter. We are walking on the hike and bike trail that goes from the campground to Mather Lodge. We went to the egg hunt today. The day use area has been packed all day long, so I guess families get together and have picnics on Easter because it's just been absolutely packed. It's just been overcast, and I really want to get up this morning and go to sunrise service, but I got a migraine last night and I still kind of have it now. Unfortunately, that was out, but we're just kind of taking it slow so that doesn't flare up. But we did walk down to the Cedar Falls overlook, met some really awesome people from California. So hello to Diana and Rich. It's always cool to meet new people, and you know what? This state park, it's like here you meet more new people than almost anywhere else because there are people from all over. Like, we've probably seen
Wisconsin
15
states,
different states
yeah, far
here,
away.
which is actually really normal to see so many, people from all over. Diana and Rich were actually visiting family in Missouri. Then they stopped over in Little Rock, and their family told them that if they had not seen Petit Jean before, they needed to go see it, so they did. But that seems to be the case for a lot of people. Here's the day use area. It's cleared out a lot. I mean, there were people everywhere. For now, we're just gonna take it slow on the hike and bike trail. This is the CCC man. And you can see this exact sculpture at Devil's Den too. He might be at other state parks. I've just seen him at Petit Jean and Devil's Den. It said this statue honors the Civilian Conservation Corps, Company V, 1781. And then over here, this chimney was, I would have to go read it, but I do believe, if I remember correctly, it is, you know, one of their dorms or mess halls was here. That's what this field was. Their camps were set up here. We actually did the Easter egg hunt or Easter egg scramble for the kids right over there by the pool this morning. This morning they took 2,000 eggs and divided them into 3 groups. So you had pre-K and kindergarten together, and then 1st through 3rd, and then 4th through 6th graders. They divided them up, they dumped out 2,000 eggs, and they turned on the park ranger sirens and told the kids to go for it. So it wasn't really a hunt. Like I said, it was just a scramble. And those kids took off. And I have a child in each age group. They probably each got 20 eggs, and some of them have candy, some of them have little toys or like little rings or whatever. But it was a lot of fun, and it was, I think it's just sweet that the campground, or not the campground, but the state park does that. Over here is what we've nicknamed the bridge to nowhere. It's actually a concrete sculpture that looks like wood, but it was this Mexican-born artist. And if you've ever been to the old mill in North Little Rock, he actually did all of the sculptures around there. It looks like wood around the walkways. And it was in the opening scenes of the movie Gone with the Wind. So this is one of his sculptures too. And it looks like petrified wood, but it's concrete. It's meant to look like a specific type of tree. And he mixed all of the pigments up in the trunk of his car. And he used things like forks to make all of the lines. And if anyone would walk by his car, he would slam his trunk shut real quick so they couldn't see exactly how he did it. So no one knows exactly. Okay, forks, spoons, and hands is how he did it. But it's strong enough to walk on. I'm not gonna do it, but
oh, do it.
You can see any.
Do it.
You think I should? You can see an example of it also at the old mill in North Little Rock. There, I'm on it. I always thought the old mill was actually wood that had been there for a really long time, but it's not. Oh, 8 states for over 20 years he did these things. We're gonna leave the hike and bike trail and go over here to the day use area where our car is parked. So this gives you an idea of what's down there. We haven't been to the Rockefeller Institute in a long time, but Petit Jean is the only state park with its own airport. And it's down this way. We're parked over here at this big pavilion. Yeah, I hear an airplane, but I don't see it.
Too cloudy.
You can fly in to the airport, and the state park's on this side, then there's Lake Bailey, and the airport is on the other side. But you can fly in over there and you can camp, because there's a campground over there by the airport. The interpreter told us that sometimes people fly in, they hike a little, they have lunch, and they fly home. But we've watched, like if you stay at the yurts, you're directly across from the airport. And we watched a guy one time like circle around like 8 times maybe. Like he was gonna land, like he was doing touch and goes or something. But yeah, if you stay at the yurts, then you have a great view of like where the planes come in on the runway. Yes, and you can see eagles from the yurts too, because apparently they have a nest across there somewhere. Look at the clover. I don't know what kind they are, but they're pretty. I guess these little flowers are part of it, but then they're multicolored. Well, good morning. We were leaving the rental and the sign outside this church says Trinity Chapel, established 1886. So I had to stop for a photo. More research shall go into this. We have checked out of our rental and today is Monday. So the park is pretty dead today, and we decided that we are going to take one more hike before we end this particular leg of the trip. So we're walking across Davies Bridge. Here's the dam again. And we noticed yesterday when we were driving that part of the Boy Scout trail comes over here next to the bridge and it connects to the Cedar Creek Trail. And for some reason I'd never noticed that on the map before. So we're gonna start here and then see what it looks like on this end, because we have not, in the past few years, I guess, maybe not years, in the past while we have not been able to complete the Cedar Creek Trail because this uppermost bridge has been out. It got washed out in a flood. And I haven't seen it washed out yet, so we should be able to see that on this hike today.
We learned from Jake that the lower spillway is called the Roosevelt Spillway because this particular section of water is the Roosevelt Lake, and then the upper, which flows a little bit wider, more like Devil's Den, but smaller. Anyway, that would be the Lake Bailey Spillway. So there's two spillways, one of which is a little bit wider and flows differently.
So this is Roosevelt Spillway, and we are headed to this side of the Boy Scout Trail. We were just talking about how through all the hiking that we've done, we've never worried about or thought about rattlesnakes before. I don't know why. Yeah, we've thought about copperheads, and we have snakes at our house. I had to fix my camera. We have snakes at our house, so I mean that's something we're used to looking for is snakes when we hike, but we never thought about looking for rattlesnakes. And then yesterday or the day before yesterday, we were doing animal bingo at Mather Lodge. They were talking about how there are rattlesnakes on Petit Jean Mountain. So now we're like super alert looking for them when normally we wouldn't have been. But that's okay. I mean, it's better to look for them and not find them than accidentally step on one. And Jake, the interpreter, was telling us how recently he actually stopped interpreter BT from stepping on one when they were out here. So here is the view of the Roosevelt Spillway from this trail. It's pretty from here. Looks like something died there and maybe made fungus. I have no idea. But here's the rest of the trail. Ah, a cascade. This is beautiful.
I see it. Look down there. The little sticks are down there. See it?
You have another one you can toss? Where'd it go? Toss in another one. There it goes.
Give her a gumball, buddy.
You see it?
Let's see.
Gumball. There it goes. We are suddenly remembering why we like to hike in the winter. I mean, it's only April 1st, but the temperature today is nice. The humidity is already ridiculous. So here comes Arkansas summer. But also, every rock that we walk around, we're now checking for snakes. Well, rattlesnakes. We've always checked for snakes. And we haven't had any problems with chiggers or ticks yet, but they always like bloom in the spring, and we know that's coming. I like winter. I like to float in the lake in the summer and stuff, but I'm not a fan of hiking or camping in the heat. I think we have found maybe where the old bridge used to be, because that pillar looks like it's a support, and there's one right down there too. We've got some people down here moving rocks.
We need to do the bridge from there, maybe.
Here we go. There's a better view. I guess this is where it was, and it crossed here. I guess that concrete is, I wonder if that's new or old.
It looks newer than the rest.
Maybe they're working on it?
Maybe they're, well, there's a,
And then this looks like dirt work up here by this one.
so maybe that's the first step of the new one, I'm not sure.
Here is some of the debris from the washed-out bridge. Actually, yeah, quite a bit of debris. And the last time we hiked Cedar Falls, there was 2x4s in the pool.
This area is pretty, how the water comes down and makes a turn in the path of the creek, and there's some really large boulders laying down here. Did not realize how wide this area was.
It gets really still after that cascade.
Over here on the left, look at these boulders that are in this low spot.
Yep, they are massive. We have a tiny waterfall. No idea what these are. I think they're growing on, no, they're not growing on briars. I thought they were. It's starting to rain. All of a sudden it got really overcast and I felt a few drops. Thankfully we're actually pretty close to the car, because there is Davies Bridge again and the spillway. We're gonna get back to the car before we get rained on, but I ran into another follower on this trip, which is on this hike, which was pretty cool. I think that puts the count up to like 7 or 8 followers that I've met here at Petit Jean State Park. on this short trip, which is so cool. Kind of odd to be recognized, I guess, but it comes with the territory. But it's always cool to meet everybody. Are you stopping to sightsee? It's always cool to meet people and to find out that they came here because they heard about it from me. Pretty awesome. All of that to say that I appreciate each and every one of you who follow along, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Y'all make this a lot of fun. So thank you for following and for commenting and sharing and for just generally being awesome. In the next episode, we will be exploring more of Petit Jean State Park, including a hike all the way down to Cedar Falls. If you liked this video, please remember to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around the natural state.